Hello. Welcome to another car talk. So, this time I'll be talking about the West Midlands Winter Comp, appropriately named, and the Super Training Christmas Classic. So, these are all happening this weekend coming, and I've got four athletes competing across the two comps. So, I've got Dane in the West Midlands on Saturday morning. Unfortunately, I can't go and handle him, so Chaz is helping me out there. I would, but on Saturday afternoon, there is Connor C in super training, so I just can't get between the two fast enough without someone missing out on something. And it's better to have the same person there the entire time helping out. Now, the West Midlands comp is in Gymshark Weightlifting Club training place, so that's a really good venue. And then the Super Training Christmas Classic is obviously in Super Training UK. They always host very well run meets, very timely. Like, they've been hosting meets for a very long time. They've got the same people doing it. They've got it down to a T. So they still add little bits here and there. Like, I'm able to sponsor the event this time. I've provided the not the comp t-shirts, the t-shirts for all the volunteers. So my big logo is slapped on the back of them, which is quite fun. It's nice to train there and then also support the competitions. And then so there is Connor C in the afternoon. Then on Sunday afternoon, there is, it is, no, it's in the morning. Sunday morning is Connor B and Marley. So I have a 93, which is Dane in the West Mids. I have two 105s, which is Marley and Connor C. And then I have a 120, which is Connor B. This is his first comp as a 120. He's just basically not cutting. That's it. He could easily be 105. We're just not going to cut into this one because we don't need to. He's down as a guest because he is part of the Irish Federation. So I'm pretty looking forward to it. Honourable mention to Emma, who is unfortunately going through a lot of health complications at the moment. She was signed up to do the super training comp as well, but unfortunately isn't well enough to do that at the moment. So I wish her a speedy recovery. As for their training, all of them are set for PBs, whether it be individual lift or total. I think Marley has had the longest time off since his last comp, coming up to a year. I think he competed in February this year, and now he's competing in December. So it's been 10 months. So I think he'll be putting on close to 30 to his total. Connor B, he is looking at another 20, and it's pretty consistent. He puts between 10 to 30 kilos every time we compete on his total, which is constantly over time gonna get him a huge total. It's not small as it is, to be fair. Connor C, he also had a relatively large break. I think it's been close to 6 months now. So he's looking at adding a lot of kilos. His deadlift and his squat have blown up massively. The bench is always a slow mover, to be fair, for everyone across the board, but I'd say his deadlift is the biggest difference because we've also transitioned to sumo. Now, obviously, that's not to say sumo is easier. You get guaranteed to add kilos. It just suits him very well. He mentioned it to me a while ago, saying, I always mess around with sumo after a comp, and I always find it very similar in strength without having trained it to my conventional. I'm like, well, maybe let's explore that. So we explored it, and it's absolutely skyrocketed. So that's good. Dane's prep has been a bit up and down. He's obviously been prioritizing his business side of things, so the consistency of nutrition hasn't necessarily always been there, and trying out different training styles for him to kind of see how much volume does he need, what kind of variations work for him, that kind of stuff. So he's still on for PBs, but I don't think it's going to be as big of an increase as I necessarily would have liked. It sounds like I'm blaming him for anything, but also it's the whole training and performance side of things is a stress management, fitness fatigue balance. So if he's getting a lot of stress outside of training, that affects his performance in training, and then will ultimately affect his performance in competition as well, but it's not that he hasn't progressed. It's like the fatigue hiding the progression, for example. And on that kind of note, Connor has just recently moved out, so like that's quite a big stress very close to comp. So I'm hoping that I've like tapered him more than I probably would normally to adjust for that. And then Marley a few weeks ago had a very stressful time and is now coming over the other end of that, and that makes sense because his deadlift is starting to come back now to where we would expect it to be. So it's all that fitness fatigue masking fitness situation with a lot of people here. That's kind of it. Like Connor C, his training's just been like grand. He's not really had unexpected stresses outside of like uni and work all happening. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go train now. I've got to the gym, so that is this week's preview of the comps this weekend. And then next week I imagine I'll do a recap of what happened, and hopefully everyone's been going, at least 8 for 9 and hitting their PBs.